Welcome to Monday, Terry. How are you, my friend?
Doing really well. How are you doing?
It's Monday morning, hustling to get everything done. These 11 races at Parx always makes things a little bit interesting, trying to get them in under the bell, so to speak, trying to
Yeah.
get it done before we hit the wire.
Yeah, and it's kind of odd because I think that's the only track I know of, unless there's like a handicap day or big stakes day that has 11 races. Everybody else has, I think, Horseshoe Indianapolis has 10, sometimes 9, but the rest of them all have, especially on today, like 8 races.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's fun to cover 11 races to start off the week. A little bit of scratches early on. Looking at the Philadelphia weather report, I'm not sure that they're going to get the entirety of the card in because they are expecting some pretty nasty weather late in the afternoon.
Wow.
But nonetheless, well, they're like tornado warning, I think, in starting like around 4:30 their time. And I
Wow.
think the last race is around 5 o'clock their time, something along those lines. So let's see. The last race is supposed to start at race number 11. It's supposed to start at 5:25 their time. So yeah, it's going to be they might not have the last few cars if that weather, few races if that weather, they say it's supposed to be brief but very fierce. So maybe there'll be just a little bit of a delay. Who knows?
Yeah, I hope it's not bad. So,
Well, we're going to cover today the full card at Parx like we always do. And
okay.
then we'll have our hot dog pick four. So that's a low price pick four where we have a less than $20 budget. We'll have our prime rib pick four where we have a $100 budget. And then we have our Philadelphia 5, the Philly 5, which our friend Charles loves. And that we have a budget as well, along with some best bets, long shots, and what we call a box it up, where we do the an exacta, trifecta, and superfecta box with 4 horses. Right, Terry?
That's right. Absolutely.
So you ready to get started today?
I am.
All right. Let me pull up our picks so people can see the full card of what we see today at Parx, starting in race number 1, Terry, which is a mile and 70 yards. It's a claiming $5,000 race with a purse of $18,000 for 3-year-olds and up, which have not won 2 races since November the 16th. And like we like to do here is put together what we call a profile of a winner. So we tell you how horses win at a mile and 70 yards at Parx. There's been 132 races, quite a few, 87 of which were won by horses that are speed. So it can be first, second, or third at the quarter-mile marker. 29 of which went wire to wire. So when the gates opened, they were first. And when they hit the finish line, they were first. The inside 3 post positions do have a little bit of a bias. And 8 and out is a little bit stronger than 4 through 7. So kick us off, Terry, with your Monday picks in your shortened week.
All right. I like number 6. Factor this in. He won his last race at Parx Racing, has the highest last race speed rating, and his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. He has a high percentage winning jockey, Frankie Pennington, and the trainer jockey combination the last 14 days have been in the money 4 out of 5 times, winning 2 of those. Then number 7, Dubronsky. He won his last race at Parx Racing and has a trainer who wins 17% of the time in the first race after claiming a horse. Then number 4, Big City Ralph. He has finished third versus Tuffer in his last race, drops in class today, and has a trainer who wins 25% of the time in the second race after claiming a horse. Then number 3, Defibrillator. He switches to a high percentage winning jockey, and the trainer wins 50% of the time when dropping a horse off of a claim.
Yeah, sometimes I need one of those at the end of the day, a defibrillator, the boom, boom on your heart, right? I need some of those. But I'm going to come out swinging today with my long shot, Terry, with the defibrillator. This one has the top late pace numbers in the field, but it shouldn't be too far off the lead in a race that doesn't really have a whole lot of early speed in it. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Defibrillator sitting about third, usually, maybe fourth, and then run by him late. It's the first off the claim for training Mary Pattershaw, which is a 21% winning angle for the trainer, and did run a little bit better in terms of its pace numbers across the board from start to finish last out. Number 6 is the second pick. Factor this in, is a claim repeater for Jamie Ness. I mean, you don't need to be a claim repeater for Jamie Nex at Parx, who wins just about everything, but he wins at 32% when he keeps horses in the claiming ranks. The only thing about this one is it's a little bit of an all or nothing horse. It's run 9 times at the distance with 5 wins, nothing else, but did improve from start to finish last out. Big City Ralph, trainer Alexander Martinez, tried 6.5 furlongs with this horse the first time off the claim. But now I think he's making the smart move, returning Big City Ralph to the horse's preferred distance, where it's run 10 times with 4 wins, a second and a third. They've tried the different distance 18 times with Big City Ralph and only managed to come home with 2 wins. So, and it's also, I think, an angle that Alexander Martinez likes, that sprint to route, which it hits at 35% for him, which is a pretty good rank number.
It is.
Number 7, Dabrowski, ran better fractions last time out. All 6 wins in 27 races come at today's distance. 0 wins if he's tried any other distance. So oddly, 1 mile and 70 yards. That's 70 yards, Terry. That's the difference for Dabrowski.
Yep.
Race 2 is a mile and a 16th. Boy, they're coming out with the long ones out here to get cracking at Parx on this Monday.
Sure.
It's a $7,500 claiming race, purse of 21 grand for 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 3 races. Real quickly, before you tell us why, the 5-horse Jarlane is your best bet. At a mile and a 16th, they don't run that many of them. So far, they've tried it 24 times. In that 24 races, 15 of them were won by speed. 8 took them from gate to wire. No horse has won from the rail in those 24 races, so anti-rail bias there for sure. Just a few from posts 2 or 3. Everything else wins from 4 and out.
Well, I like number 5 as my best bet of the day, Jarlian. He has a high percentage winning trainer, drops in class today, and has finished in the money in 4 out of 5 races at today's distance, and he's won 2 of those contests. Then number 3, Social Equality, is my second pick. He has a high percentage winning trainer and drops in class today. Then number 7, my third pick, is Mountain Tree. He ran second versus similar in his last race, switches to a high percentage winning jockey who in the last 7 days has had 50% wins, 10 starts, 5 wins. And then number 6, Private Network, is my 4th pick. He ran second versus similar in the last race, has a last race speed rating, and has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 24% of the time with claiming races.
Hey, Jared, what's happening, man? Jared will be filling in for the vacationing Terry on Wednesday and Thursday. So Jared and I will be back trying to dish out some winners here at Horse Racing Radar TV. If you like what you see and you want to catch Jared on Wednesday and Thursday, please hit the subscribe button while you're at Horse Racing Radar TV. Thumbs up are always appreciated there and on Facebook. Hopefully you had a good weekend, Jared. And like Jared, if you guys have any picks, if anybody wants to share their thoughts about any of the races anywhere today, please let us know. Terry, for me in race number 2, I'm a little worried about your best bet here with number 6, Private Network. Your last pick might top your first pick. Is the only horse in this field that ran a last race speed figure above par for this level. And the trainer's turning this horse right around. Last race on April the 26th. It's tried that quick turnaround in 3 races out of its last 10, which is pretty regularly. And managed to improve in the second start. That quick starts 2 out of 3 times. Jarlane is your top pick, my second choice, Terry. This one is making a third start after a layoff, and it's its 3rd consecutive drop in class. Horse does have an affinity for the distance, ran a mile and a 16th 5 times, managed to collect the big check 2 times, and the second biggest check a couple of other times. Social Equality, the 3-horse, is dropping in class. Does have a decent workout on May the 6th, ran 48 and 2 for 4 furlongs, which if you look through the past performance numbers might be better than what he's been able to produce in any of his in-race numbers. So maybe you're going to see some big improvement out of Social Equality. And then finally bringing it home at number 2, Mongolian Hero. This one is dropping in class and making his second start off the bench. Does have some of the best early pace numbers in a field, again, that is loaded with pressers, but not a lot of front runners. So the speed of the speed in that situation can work out, and maybe we'll see Mongolian Hero play that part. Jared says we will be on a heater. Jared's just ripping them up. So hopefully right now, but you can't. You have the 3 to win the second race. Hopefully, 3 at Parx and race 2 wins. Well, we got him maybe in there. Jared's got him his second pick.
Yep.
We'll hope you stay on that heater. You don't want to jinx yourself, Jared, right? Because when you've got that feeling like, man, I'm rolling. I mean, you want to keep it rolling, but I think it's one of those things that you got to keep it internalized.
That's
so
right.
That way you don't jinx yourself, so to speak. Race 3, Terry, is 7 furlongs. It is an optional claiming 16,000 with a purse of 25 grand. 3 years old and up, which have started for $16,000 and less, and which have never won 3 races, or claiming price $16,000 and have never won 3 races. This one is the notorious Box It Up, Terry. And that's where we take 4 horses. We stick them together in an exacta box for $1, trifecta box for 50 cents, in a 10-cent superfecta box. And the race 3 is 7 furlongs, as I mentioned. There have been 92 races, 64 won by speed, 27 of which went wire to wire. This is a mostly fair post positions, but there is a small penalty if you get an 8 or plus jersey. I think this one, Terry, is going to be a really tough race. And if you get it right, it's funny because we have the same 4 picks, but as I was going through it, I had a hard time cutting out like 2 or 3 horses. But if we get it right, I think there's a chance to get paid here. That's why I took it as my Box It Up. Number 6, Enraged, the first selection, is a pair of noses away from winning 3 in a row. And last time out, ran 7 furlongs like it's going to do today, but it was 2 seconds faster than his previous start at 7 furlongs. Number 1, Expensive Cut, is coming in from Keeneland. So I would consider Keeneland a pretty substantial class drop, right, Terry?
I would.
So this is making his first off the claim for trainer Robert Moscow, who hits at 20% the first time he trots out a new horse off the claim. Number 2, Gushing Oil, is coming in from Sam Houston for trainer Jamie Ness. I'm not so sure that Sam Houston is a track drop, Jerry, but I tell you, you can never really go wrong with Jamie Ness on your horse. Jamie's dropping him in class here, should be right behind the leaders, and does have the second best late pace number. So if it's position, if Gushing Oil coming out of the turn is second or third, probably a really good chance it's going to run by everybody late. And then finally, Buffalo Shuffle. Speaking of Buffalo, to all those in Buffalo who've been affected by this madman, we certainly hope and pray that you'll find some peace. But moving back to horse racing, Buffalo Shuffle did best the top pick by a nose 2 back. Got off to a slow start, and I hate when jockeys do this, and I'd like to ask them why. When you get off to a slow start, why do you rush up? Because you know you're going to be running super fast fractions, but that's exactly what happened with Buffalo Shuffle last time out. If he can get off to a good start and doesn't need to get rushed up, he has a considerable early pace advantage over everybody else.
Hey, Rich, there's some corrections you need to make on that because you basically have this 1, 2, 4, and 6 in there, but if you look at your Box It Up on that screen you just showed, you have couple of different horses. So
I have 6, 1, 2, 4. Yeah. What do I have in my Box It Up?
On the other screen, you have
6, 5, 3, 2. Oh, I put race 2 in instead of race 3.
Yeah.
So I have mine is race 2, race 3. So I will go back and try to change that. I don't know if I'll be able to get it done, Terry, but I'll try.
Okay.
Thanks for bringing that up, though.
You're welcome.
Anyway, what do you like in race 3?
Okay, in race 3, I like number. Let's see here. Let me get up here to race 3. Number 2, Gushing Oil is my first pick. He drops in class today. His best start speed is fastest among today's starters, and the trainer in the last 14 days has been in the money 12 out of 15 times, winning 7 of those races. And then number 1, Expensive Cut, is my second pick. He won his last race at Keeneland and drops in class today. The trainer wins 50% of the time when dropping in class after claiming a horse, and the trainer in the last 14 days has won 4 out of 6 races. And then number 6, Engaged. He won his last race at Parx Racing. The trainer wins 20% of the time when bringing the winner of their last race back again, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. Number 4, Buffalo Shuffle, is my 4th pick. He has won 2 out of 4 starts this year, likes the distance, and has a high percentage winning jockey.
All right, Terry. So that wraps up race number 3. Today, over at Horseshoe, Indianapolis, where they do have a few more races, Terry,
Mhm.
than most other tracks. It is your best bet of the day for race number 8.
It is.
Before we get to race number 8, why don't you tell us a little bit about how your horses did on the weekend?
Okay, I had a really good weekend on Saturday at Golden Gate Fields. Second race, I liked She's So Pretty, and She's So Pretty won. Paid $9.80, $4.20, and $3. And then Bandina ran third, paid $3.80. Then on Sunday at Santa Anita, I had in the third race, I had Lady T. She won, but she only paid $2.60. But that's 30% on your money. So
And where can you get 30%, Terry?
yeah, that's right, in 2 minutes. So, and then 210 and 210. And then my second pick, number 5, Angel Naxico. She ran second, paid $4 and $3.20, and the exacta was $5.40. So on a race like this, I'll take the 6 over my 2 other picks for $10 each. So I played 20 and I got back 54. And that's exactly what I did. So
all right. And then how about as far as today is concerned?
okay, so today I like at Indianapolis, Horseshoe Indianapolis, I like in the 8th race, number 5, Lot to Go. He won the debut race at Horseshoe Indianapolis easily, was well bet in.
I'm sorry I messed you up. Go ahead, Terry.
That's right, was well bet in his debut, and the trainer jockey combo in the last 14 days has won 2 out of 3 races. And then number 3, Tapadera.
Tapadera. Yep,
Yeah,
indeed.
he closed to win his debut race at Horseshoe Indianapolis as a jockey who's winning at a 19% clip and a trainer who's winning at a 21% clip. And then number 2 is my third pick, Latigo. He finished in the money in his 4 career races, winning the last one at Horseshoe International. He has a trainer who has won 2 of his last 3 starts.
Beautiful. All right, Terry. So while we were doing that, the reason I was screwing you up, as you can probably imagine, Terry, I was trying to get stuff done in the background.
That's right.
Yes. Let's see. So let's look at Jared. I have 2, 1, 4, 5 in the third race at Parx. Race with no relative speed. 2 has early speed and should go gate to wire in race number 3. Race 8 at Horseshoe, which was Terry's best bet. You have 5, 6, and 3. So you agree with Terry on most stuff there today. Charles, how you doing? Race 3, look out for the 5 to run a huge race today at Parx. It's E.F. Hutton of horse racing. You had the late pick 4 yesterday at Belmont. Nice, Jared, clearing that much. You should share that with us on our website. The 5 is scratched in the race 3 at Parx now, Terry, because I know that they've thank you, Kelvin, for joining us. We appreciate the update there for sure. Thanks. Sorry that was earlier. So race number 5 at Parx, do we either one of us have that in there or not?
I don't think I do. Let me see.
No,
number
I
5.
I don't have him in there either. So, okay, good.
Yes,
all right. So I was able to clean up the box it up. So here is my box it up. I'll go back to that. I apologize for having it screwed up. Race 3, that's right. 6, 1, 2, and 4.
Yep.
All right. So glad we got that cleared up. I appreciate you taking care of that, Terry. We're going to move on now to race number 4, right?
That's right.
All right. So race number 4 is 7 furlongs. It is a claiming $7,500 for a purse of 20 grand. Fillies that are 3 years old or fillies and mares 4 years old and up, which have never won 2 races. We talked a little bit about the 7 furlong profile of a winner. Got to be fast. The post positions are mostly fair. So tell us why you like what you like here with the 1 horse.
Number 1 is my first pick. Don't Tell Frankie. She won her last race at Parx Racing, and the trainer wins 36% of the time in the first race after he claims the horse. And the trainer in the last 14 days has been in the money 4 out of 5 times, winning 2 of those. Then number 6, Miss Alex is my second pick. She ran second in her last race at Parx Racing, receiving the highest last race speed rating and has the highest speed figure at today's distance. And then number 4, Broad Jumper. She finished third in her last 2 races. Number 8 is my fourth pick, Hit a Homer Honey. During her career, she has finished in the money 57% of the time and won 21% of those races.
So Jared says he likes the 2 in race 4, incontrovertible.
It's too bad because
it's
scratched.
Yeah, that's why I had it in there as one of my top picks too, because I think it was the only mount for Carol Cedeno.
Yeah,
on the day. So I thought that was kind of interesting that she was coming over from the Baltimore tracks. So Wonder if she just stayed home or
Maybe.
picked up some other ones. For me, I like number 8, Hit a Homer, Honey. Last race, was a mess. Absolute mess, Terry. But this horse is the lone horse that's capable of being a pilot or a co-pilot in a field with the best combination of early pace and late pace. And quite frankly, there's really not a ton of early speed here. Most of these horses are pressers. So if you can get to the front, you probably have a pretty good shot of winning. And I think there's a pretty good chance that'll happen. Hit a Homer, Honey also gets a 12-pound weight break versus all but one horse in this field, the number 1, and has a 5-pound weight break on the 1. I think taking off a dozen pounds is going to be helpful versus most of this field. Number 6, Miss Alex, did tie for the top last race figure and has the most late pop in this group. We like to see that combination, especially when the horse showed some improvement, ran a little bit faster in the opening half mile of its last race. So getting a little better in the beginning and is the best at the end. Don't Tell Frankie, not quite sure what we're not supposed to tell him, but this one did win last time out, despite getting whacked pretty hard at the start. And there's the other horse, as I mentioned, to get a little bit of a weight break. This one's only getting, I think, about a 5 or 6 pound weight break. I'm not a big fan, though, of horses that won the maiden claiming last time out, but it is the first off the claim for trainer Mario Dominguez, who wins at 36% off the claim versus 20% overall. So that is a big upgrade in his winning percentage. So maybe a specific angle for him. And then finally, I'm going to close it out with number 7, Parable. This horse, Terry, last time out, did run 5.5 furlongs, shortened up a little bit, kind of faded it a little bit at the end. It is the lone E-horse in this field. And with the scratch, it does move up. I don't think it's going to get the lead at all, but does have a chance perhaps to maybe get off to a second or third place start and kind of hang on late for a piece of the pie. Yeah, Jared scratched 2 horse race 4. A lot of scratches today. Horseshoe races 1 through 9. So you're going to pick one horse? 6, 3, 6, 6, 6. Oh, the double horses for Jared there. 7, 7, 5, 2 for all of the horses at Horseshoe, Indianapolis for our good friend Jared. It's going to be sloppy this afternoon. Yeah, I expect late scratches. We talked a little bit about that in the beginning. I wouldn't even be surprised if they cancel the late part of the card, to be honest, because they're calling for tornado warnings and massive wind and all sorts of hail and just that beautiful early spring, late spring, early summer weather that happens up in the Northeast and Midwest.
Yep.
Race number 5 is 1 mile. It is a claiming $7,500 race with a purse of $20,000. Fillies 3 years old, or fillies and mares 4 years old and up, which have never won 2 races. Terry, at 1 mile, they've run 55 of them, so the speed limit, of which nobody drives. 35 of them were won by speed. 17 went wire to wire. There is an inside-out bias. There's an outside to inside bias from 7 to 1. So the 7 outperforms the 6 down to the 1. But interestingly, if you get an 8, you actually underperform. So it's kind of a weird dynamic there, Terry.
That's right. Well, I like as my first pick, number 3, Brody Slam. She has finished in the money in 4 out of her last 5 races, finishing 3rd in her last race, and she won one of those races. She switches to high percentage winning trainer and should improve today with blinkers being added. Then I like number 2 as my second pick, Bellamy's Party Girl. She ran 2nd in her last race at Parx Racing, has the highest last race speed rating, and she should improve as it's a shorter distance this time. And then I like number 7 as my third pick, Beautiful Star. She finished 6th in the mud, but had run 3rd the race before. It seems that the mud affected her run, and she should do better today. She has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey who in the last 7 days has a record of 5 wins out of 10 starts. And then number 1 is my 4th pick, Relentless Ruby. She ran 3rd in her last race at Parx and has a high percentage winning trainer.
All right. And for me, I'm going to start race number 5, which closes the early pick 4, which Terry and I, or at least our hot dog pick 4s, which I'll bring up in just a moment here. I'm going to start with you. Same with you. 3 and the 2, my first 2 choices. We have the same 4, just a little bit different order in the back. Brody Slam making the first start for trainer Michael Pino after being claimed. He does have a really good, fast 3 furlong workout since Michael took over the training of this horse. It's going to get some blinkers today too. So I think that Michael's going to try to get this horse out a little bit faster than it has to take advantage of the top late pace numbers, which the horse does own. Bellamy's Party Girl making her second start off the break. The resume here says expect a pop in round number 2 off the bench. Did run the top last race speed figure last time out. So if it does improve, like its history says it will, Bellamy's Party Girl could be really tough to beat. Relentless Ruby did show some more interest in the later part of its last race. A lot of times I find when horses improve their late pace or their 4 and late pace numbers, they do pick that momentum up and carry it into the next race. Wouldn't be surprised if it's the co-pilot here, maybe even the pilot, and gets a weight break. So sometimes when you're up front and you have a little bit less weight to carry, that does help you carry it to the finish line. And then finally closing it out with number 7, Relentless Beauty, which is something we all aspire to have, or it's a beautiful star, right?
Yeah. And actually, we got one more race for the pick 4. The early pick 4.
Oh, it's race 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Beautiful Star, I'm sorry, is making its third start off the layoff. It's getting jockey Jerian Barbosa, who's just been smoking at Parx, winning 30% of his races so far. So that's a number you can't ignore. Teaming up with Tyler Service, who's also a pretty high win rate trainer, hitting together 23%. It's the first time the duo is going to work together. So we'll see what kind of electricity they can bring.
Yep.
All right, Terry, now it's race number 6. This is the one that closes up the hot dog pick.
That's right.
You know, Monday morning blues, Terry. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I have them too.
This is a mile and a 16th. We talked a little bit about the profile of a winner of a mile and a 16th before. Not very many races at a mile and 16th, 24 of them, but most of them were won by speed, 15 as a matter of fact. A third of them won wire to wire. None of them won from the rail, so avoid the rail here. Just a few from posts 2 and 3. So you probably want to bet horses that have a 4 or out as your top picks. My best bet here is number 5 on the day. That is Frisky Feeling. Did tie for the top last race speed figure, dropping in class. The only negative here is this horse is all or nothing at the distance. I'm expecting an all performance today. It's run 6 times with 3 wins, no seconds, no thirds. But I do think we'll see that all performance in the second start off the bench.
Yep. Well, I like in this race is my top pick, number 3, Lady Brexit. She ran 4th in her last race at Parx Racing after winning the 2 previous races. And the trainer wins 28% of the time in bringing back a beaten favorite to race again. Then I like number 1, Little Miss Hotshot. She finished 3rd versus Tougher in her last race, drops in class today. Her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters, and the trainer wins 20% of the route races he has a horse entered in. And then I like your best bet of the day. Number 5 is my 3rd pick, Frisky Feeling. She drops in class today. She has the highest last speed rating, and she has the highest speed figure at today's distance. And then to round it out for my 4th pick, I like number 2, Londonderry. She drops in class today and has a trainer-jockey combination who in the last 14 days has won 2 out of 7 races and ran second twice.
So behind the 5 horse Frisky Feeling, I like Lady Brexit, the 3 horse. This one should be close to the front out of the gates and does have some pretty good late kick. It is the only horse in the field that can ride either pilot or co-pilot. So that's an EP horse. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this horse. Yeah, it's probably one of the more versatile horses in here. So I think it'll be able to dictate where it wants to be on the course. Number 4, Abhale, whatever, does have the top early pace numbers in the field as the lone E-horse. So an E-horse are those that can get to the front and win. Last race fractions were faster than the previous race. So this one, I wouldn't be shocked to see the 4 horse get to the lead and then never give it up. And then finally, Little Miss Hotshot, the 1 horse, kind of tough to bet the rail when the rail has not won at the distance in 24 races, was the favorite in that last start for trainer Silvino Ramirez. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't have that many favorites. And the 3 that he did have that failed, none of them came back to win the next time out, but every single one of them came back to finish in the money. So maybe Little Miss Hotshot gets a piece for 3rd or 4th to clean up the superfecta or the trifecta. Now, Terry, we get to talk about our hot dog pick fours.
That's right.
So this is where we have a $20 budget, and oddly enough, I seem to win these more than when we win than the ones where we get to spend a little bit more money.
Yeah, that's true.
What was your thinking behind crafting this ticket?
Well, I think either the one or the two are going to win that third race. I don't think anybody else is going to. And then
I think the 6 is going to win that race.
You do, yeah, I know you do.
Yes, it's the only one to top a speed figure above par for the group.
Yeah, well, let's see what happens. Anyway, and then in the fourth race, I think it's a little bit more wide open, so I spread out a little bit. Then in the fifth race, I went with a 3 and a 2, which I think are a couple of horses probably going to get in there. Then that last race, I spread out again a little bit. So
says the one horse in race 6 comes back 10 days, gets a new trainer today. Yeah, it's just that the 1 mile, it hasn't been able to fire at that distance. 0 wins in 24 starts. I know that early on we had that issue with 6 furlongs with the rail horse, which doesn't really win. But when a post position, especially the rail, is 0 for 24, that gives me some pause that something is a little bit funky about starting on the rail at that distance.
Yeah.
Tonight we're going to start up our horse center again, Terry, which should be a lot of fun. We're going to have jockey Andrew Wolfsant, who I think is actually running today at Parx, if I remember correctly, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing that name on the roster of jockeys today. So make sure you tune in if you have a question for jockey Andrew Wolfsant at 8 p.m. Eastern. We do it every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Sean and I have special guests on. Usually a jockey, a trainer, or somebody or personality in the horse racing. Seems to do well because a lot of people like our interviews. Terry, you're going to be watching?
I will, yeah. I try to watch every night. So I really enjoy them. So, and my wife watches them with me. She likes them too.
And we usually cover some news topics. And with the Preakness coming up on Saturday, I'm sure there'll be some Preakness news to cover. If folks want to watch it or be notified when it's about to go live, Terry, what should they do?
Well, they should subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at Horse Racing, the number 2 day. Like us on Facebook at Horse Racing, the number 2 day. And on Instagram at Horse Race, the number 2 day.
And of course, thumbs up are appreciated. So you guys, Jared and Charles, you guys exchanged horses. Did they both win? Want to thank Lionel TM Fook for the thumbs up. Same thing with you, Eric Verboken. We appreciate that. If you agree with them, please give us a thumbs up on Facebook and on YouTube as well. You ready to move on to the second half of the card, Terry, which I'm not so sure we're going to see a lot of that because of that weather is going to probably pull in around race number 8 or 9, but it does start the Philly 5, race number 7.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, indeed. And Terry and I both have a Philly 5 coming up. We'll share that with you momentarily. Race number 7 is 6 furlongs, maiden $34,000. $34,000 purse for registered Pennsylvania bred maidens, fillies that are 3 years old. As I was saying with the 1 mile in a 16th where the rail has not won, it's been a difficult course of action for the 6 furlong races as well. There have been 130 of them and only 8 winners from the rail. Inside out bias actually from 2+. So weirdly, the rail doesn't win, but if you go the 2, the 3, the 4, the closer you are to the rail, not including the rail, you win. So it's really odd.
It is odd. I'll tell you that for sure. Well, for me in that race, I like number 2 as my first pick. Why not, babe? She is first-time starter. Her dam has 3 winners from 4 starters. The trainer wins 25% of the time with first-time starters, and she has a bullet workout on May 6th. Then I like number 1, Lovely Melara. She ran second in her last race at Parx Racing and has a high percentage winning jockey. Then number 7, Hold Me Closer, as my third pick. She ran 4th in her last race after being wide during the race, has the highest last race speed rating. Her best start speed is fastest among today's starters, and the trainer in the last 14 days have been in the money 5 out of 6 times, winning 4 of those. And then as my 4th pick, number 5, Snappy Ride. She finished 3rd in her last race. She has a high percentage winning trainer, and she should improve with Lasix added, as the trainer wins 40% of the time when using second-time Lasix.
All righty. And for me to kick off that Philly 5, I like the 3 horse, Hidden Cachet. I don't really feel like there's a lot to beat in here. Actually, I like the first 2 horses, the 3 and the 2. because they're first-time starters. And I don't really feel like there's a lot in this field to beat. And like Jared does, I'm learning that little trick from him, so I'm willing to give credit where credit is due. If there's not a whole lot to beat, go with the horses that you don't know what they're capable of. I do like the fact that both the 3 and the 2 have some decent works getting started in here. Number 5 of the experienced horses, Snappy Ride is my top choice of the horses with some experience. My 3rd pick overall. Does have some of the best early pace numbers and also some of the best late pace numbers. The last race fractions were a little bit better. And this one's limited resume says expect more in, maybe not a whole lot more, but a little more in the second start following a layoff. Number 7, Hold Me Closer, is the lone pressure horse in the field. So I think it'll sit right behind the leaders, and most of the leaders that have experience, well, the ones that do have experience tend to get to the front and fade, which should set up nicely for the 7-horse Hold Me Closer. The only question is what do and there's also the 9 in here, I think, too, which is a first-time starter, which is an attractive horse to me, but I didn't want to go 3 first-time starters.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I'm going to go 3-2, taking a pair of first-time starters, hoping to hit a price to kick off the Philly 5, and then bring it home with the 5 and the 7 as the experienced horses.
All right.
I love 3, 6, 7, 6, 2, 8. Charles in the 8th at Parx. Where are you at? 8-horse race setting, sitting on a huge must-win. In what race is this in? Race number 7? Is that where you guys are at? All right. So sitting on the 8 horses. Charles says the 8-horse. Terry, you and I might think about putting 8-horse in there.
You might, yeah.
Race number 8 is your long shot. This one's a 1-mile race, claiming of $16,000, purse $25,000. Fillies and mares 3 years old and up, which have started for $16,000 or less, which have never won 2 races, or claiming price $16,000, in whichever never won 2 races. That sounds like a lawyer question, like when they say the same thing, just word it differently.
Yeah,
right. That sounds like a lawyerly type race conditions. What do you think about that race? It's your long shot, so you're going to start with the 3-horse.
That's right. She's a double take, and she's won her last race at Parx Racing. Has the highest.
No honey bun reference there, Terry?
No, not this time.
No,
no. Although she is a double take, my honey.
I just helped you out, Terry.
Anyway, she has the highest last race speed rating, and her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. And then number 8, Embrace the Whiny. She won her last race at Laurel, and her jockey in the last 7 days have won 50% of his mounts. And then number 4 is my 3rd pick, A Bit of Bad and Boise. She has finished in the money in her last 4 races, winning 2nd versus similar in her last, and winning one of the races prior. And she has a high percentage winning trainer. And then this is my honey bunny. Number 2 is my 4th pick, One Wild Woman. She ran 2nd versus similar in her last race at Parx Racing. She has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and the trainer jockey combination the last 14 days have won 2 out of 7 starts and 2 seconds.
I think the last time you mentioned that One Wild Woman was the honey bunny. The next day you showed up with a black eye, Terry.
I did, yeah.
Anyway, for me, 3's a double take is the top choice here. Coming off the maiden win with the top last race speed figure. Really, the only way I like to take horses coming off the maiden win and then stepping up. Is in the money so far at Parx in 4 out of 5 races with a win, a couple of seconds, and a 3rd. This is the lone horse in the field that likes to get to the front, or has proven it can get on the lead and win. In most of the horse, and the strange thing, not only can it get to the lead, but it has some of the best late pace figures in the field as well. And just about everybody else in this field either wants to close or pressure. So I think the 3 has an opportunity to take this race and run fractions that are very comfortable. Pumpernickel did run better 6 and 4 long times in its last race, which was 7 furlongs on mud, compared to the 4 and 6 furlong numbers that it ran in the previous race at 6 furlongs on a fast track. It's improved its speed figures 3 consecutive races in a row. Number 2, One Wild Woman, been off since March the 22nd, but does have a decent workout for trainer Luis Linder. And when you team him up with jockey Luis Ocasio, that tandem puts together a positive return on investment of almost $3, $2.94. A Bit Bad in Bogie. It's another horse that's increased its speed figure 3 consecutive times. Did run much better fractions in its last race, and it's been in the money 7 out of 15 races at Parx. So this is one that I think could be dangerous.
That's
Race
right.
number 9 is your box it up, Terry. Why don't you walk us through your 4 horses?
All right, I'll do that. And first of all, I want to answer Jared. He says, if she ran second, why not place wager on her? Well, if my horse is 5-2 or more, and I'm betting to win, I win. I bet win and place. If I'm betting 20 to win, I bet 40 to place. All right. Now my box it up is in this race here, as you said, and it's number 6, Romantic Comedy. She finished third in her last race. The trainer wins 36% of time when taking a horse from a maiden claiming to a maiden race. And the trainer in the last 14 days has been in the money 12 out of 15 times, winning 7 of those, 2 seconds, 2/3. She has a good 4 furlong workout on May 11th, 47-1 breezing, second best out of 38. Then my second choice is number 8, Brooklyn Heights. She ran second versus similar in her last race. Her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters, and she has a good 4 furlong workout on May 5th at Parx, 42-2 breezing. And then I like number 1 is my third pick, Mento Me. She finished third versus similar in her last race. The rail post is winning at a 26% clip, and the jockey in the last 7 days, as we said previously, has won 5 out of 10 starts. And then number 7, Miss Smarty Pants Sandy. She ran second versus similar in her last race and has the highest last race speed rating. Hello?
That's Terry's box it up in race number 9. It's a $1 exacta box, 50-cent trifecta box, 10-cent superfecta box, and also starts off race number 8 starts off the pick 4.
It
does. It looks like Manny Mercado puts together a little pick 4 here at Parx, and it looks like he's got 7, 6, 6, 5, and 8. So Manny's really going hot dog. That's not even a hot dog, Terry. I don't know what. That's just that's like a free lunch almost, right?
Yeah.
And Charles says, expect the speed today on the outside to hold up. Finger Lakes, we're getting some Finger Lakes. Race 5, he likes Elbow Cough. Pedro Bendito Lozada. So he really likes Elbow Cough because he's, and then Wash Hands. I don't know what that means, but there's a chunk of later sequence. Races don't have any pace except slow. And then he's, Parx race number 1. Elbow. I don't know, what does that mean? Good vibes, wash hand. What does that mean? Is there any meaning to that? I'm not quite sure what that means. Can you help us with the wash hands, Pedro? I'm not understanding that. All right. So for me, race number 9, a 6.5 furlong race at Parx. It is a one that they've run 75 times, 46 won by speed, 23 is 75, so almost a third. Going wire to wire. There is a very strong rail bias, which is really weird to me because it's 6 furlongs, it can't win. And then if you wear a 2 or out, it is fair, but there is a slight inside out bias. Romantic Comedy is coming in from Oaklawn where it drops. I think it's a track drop, Oaklawn to Parx. Has a really good workout at Parx on May 11th. Trainer Jamie Ness doesn't do it very often when he takes a horse from maiden claiming to maiden special weight. He's done it 11 times, brought home the winner 4 times. So that's like a 38% win rate. But what I find interesting is that you actually get a positive ROI with Jamie Ness at Parx on this angle of $2.25, because on most other angles for Jamie Ness, you got a negative ROI because everybody bets him, right?
That's right.
Number 4, Sonoma County. Do you live in Sonoma County, Terry?
No, I live in Solano County.
Is Sonoma County near you or no?
Yeah, it's only about 30 minutes.
Oh, okay. This one's another track dropper coming in from Keeneland. I expect it to be, it's a significant track drop, and gets jockey Frankie Pennington. So big time horse getting big time jockey. Number 1 does ride that Memento Me, does ride that high win rate rail. Does have some of the best early pace numbers in the field. So I'm expecting Memento Me to be on the gas from the word go, and does get a weight break in here, which I hope will help. Number 7, Smarty Pants Sandy did show much more interest in the later part of the last race. And this one's been knocking on the door, coming in second 2 out of her last 3 races. We slide forward to race number 10. see, TD number 2. So is that for race number 2 your pick for? Is that what you're saying, Manny? So Finger Lakes race number 3 to 2 horse, is that, or is race number 1? I'm a little bit confused. Track will be lightning fast on the crown of the track, not the rail. So outside posts will get the lead today. So keep an eye on the outside posts today at Parx, according to Charles. Race number 10. That's where we are now, right, Terry?
It is.
Are we on 10 or 9?
10.
10. Okay, beautiful. Race 10 is a 6.5 furlong race again, claiming 25 grand, purse of 26 grand, 3 years old and up, which have never won 3 races. As I mentioned, the rail does have a strong bias here. We both like the rail horse, maybe not as our top pick, but in our picks, but we don't really agree on a whole lot after that.
That's right. I like the number 2, E.T.'s Candyman. He's won his last race and has the highest last speed rating. And then I like number 1 as my second choice, Hoist the Main Cell. He won in his last race at Park Racing. The rail post is winning at a 26% clip, and the trainer wins 20% of the time when bringing a winner back to race again. And then number 4, 5 Dreams is my third pick. He switches to high percentage winning trainer, switches to a high percent winning jockey, and his best start speeds are fastest among today's starters, tied with another one. The trainer in the last 14 days, as we've said before, has won 7 out of 15. And then my fourth pick, number 5, is Speak Unity. He switches to a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, and the trainer jockey combination has been in the money 100% of the time in the last 14 days, winning 2 out of 3.
So, Manny, when you say Finger Lakes 3-2, is this in race number 1 coming up? I just want to make sure so that the folks who are playing along can, especially if you're smoking hot, they want to make sure that they play along. And I'm guessing if Thistledown's in race 1, you like the 2 horse. If that's an accurate reading on my part, please confirm that in the comment section. And I appreciate you putting your picks in there as well. We hope everybody puts their thoughts and shares their thoughts with us. We certainly what we're looking for. Race number 10 for me, Terry. I'm going to start off with Hoist the Main Sail. This one's a nose away from winning a couple of races in a row. Does get that high winning rate rail and has 3 really good workouts since its last start. Number 3, Uncle Jerry G was much better in its last race than it looks like, with much better fractions. Does get Paco Lopez in the irons here if they make it to this part of the day with these forecasted weather. Paco Lopez at Parx has been either nothing or everything. So he's got 9 mounts so far, brought home the winner's check in 5 of them, but if he doesn't get the winner's check, he doesn't run into money at all. Number 4, 5 Dreams. This one's coming in from Oaklawn Park as well. And what's interesting to me is one of the top jockeys at the track, Ruben Silvera, gets off the 2 horse, E.T.'s Candy, your top pick, to ride this one, which is kind of was a concern for me and why I downgraded the 2 a little bit. If Ruben likes the 6 better than the 4 better than the 2, so do I. And then finally closing it out with number 6, Event Party is the lone closer in this field. And when I did my work, this one has a lot of horses that want to be towards the front. I don't know if you can see this or not, but race number 10, you see they're all E or EP types, and then you got the 6 horse in there, Event Party. So I expect that the speed of the speed will vanquish some of the other speed horses, and then they'll start to fall back one by one. And that's such that you'll see Event Party close, pick off a lot of those horses late. I don't think he can pick them all off, but maybe he finishes up the exacta or the trifecta. You ready for the last race of the day?
I am.
All right. Yeah, I think that's what he's talking about. Is that I think I don't get Pedro's comments either. I think what he's talking about, Jared, is at Finger Lakes he likes the 4 horse, and I don't know where the elbow cough or the wash hands comes from. So Finger Lakes race 5, he likes the 4. I don't know because we've seen these elbow wash comments before, all right? So at Parx he likes race 1, the 6, and the 1. And Will Rogers race 1, he likes the 3 and the 1. So I don't know if that's something that automatically fills in behind there for some reason, because we've seen other posts, not from Pedro, where we've gotten that same series or sequence of words, and I'm not quite sure what it means.
I tried to translate it, and the Google translating wouldn't translate. It just give you the same answer.
So you don't think there's a lot of pace in the later races if you find a horse with early speed? I think in this race that we just talked about, though, is just the exact opposite. There's a lot of pace in that race, and some of that cheap speed is going to be their emojis. That could be too. I see. They're emojis and they don't spell out. All right. Race 2, the 11 horse was scratched at Belmont this weekend. I think there was there was a horse in there that won on Saturday or Friday on the 13th with Jose Ortiz. When it was in there, I was looking at the past performances and I was like, wait a minute, that horse just won. He's going to run again. He's probably not even eligible. All right. The last race of the day at Parx, Terry, is race number 11. And this one is 1 mile and 70 yards. How we start is how we finish. Purse of 21 grand for this claiming 12-5 race for 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds and up, which have never won 2 races. Bring us home, my friend.
All right. I like as my first pick, number 8, Codependent. He finished 3rd in his last race, winning the previous race, and has a decent workout of on April 5th of 49-1 breezing, 16th out of 62. Then number 5 is my second pick, Will Take Control. He finished 3rd in his last 3 races and may improve while returning to a route. And then number 3 is my third pick, Kith. He finished 3rd in his last race. Has the
that
highest.
Was a long time ago, though. So I was like more than a year ago. I think it was a long time ago. So he better be fit.
That's right. Anyway, he has the highest last race speed rating, and the trainer wins 20% of the time when dropping a horse after a claim. And then number 2, Indoctrinate. He finished 2nd in his last race at Parx Racing, has a high percentage winning trainer, and the trainer wins 24% of the races that he has a horse in.
So in race number 10, Charles is saying the 2 horse was scratched, Terry.
Oh, really?
Let's see. Let's pull up the...
That's a late scratch then.
Let's see. I know that was the one that came in from Belmont, right? Yeah, and one it's and I know there was just no way that the horse was going to run after winning its taking its maiden. Let's see, race number 10. So who do you like? Was it race number 10 or was it race number? No, race number 10. It's not. It was race number
4.
It was race number 9, the 3 horse, Saint Martin girl. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she scratched. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Just want to make sure that we got that all squared away. All right. 3 minutes to go to race number 1. Let's see if I can get my picks in for the last race here, and we can check out that first race. Okay. 1 mile and 70 yards, 132 races, 87 won by speed, 29 of which went wire to wire. There is an inside 3 bias. So, of course, I start with a 8 horse, just like you. Yep. Codependent is dropping in class. Last time out was really wide and did show some late pace improvement. In the money, 4 out of 5 at the distance. Will Take Control at Parx. This is the ultimate knocking on the door, or as I call it, Denzel Washington horse. Has spent a lot of time near the winner's circle, just not in it. 7 races at Parx, 1 win and 5 thirds. But the 1 win did come at the distance, and I do expect it to be close to the pace, and does have the most late punch of all the front runners. Number 4, Austin Willie, is ahead from taking home the top prize in 2 of his last 3 starts. Has a decent maintenance workout since the last time it almost won. And then finally, Indoctrinate, number 2, was a tough call over the 1 horse for me. But this one is likely to be the pace setter and just missed. I mean, but the thing is, it gave up like a 6-length lead in the stretch. So I'm a little bit worried about that. But if it can get off to a comfortable lead again, should be able to hold on for a piece late. Looking at Parx for race number 1, Terry, it looks like they've got about a minute to post. So that gives us enough time, I think, to pull up our Philly 5, right?
That's right.
All right, so let's pull up the Philly 5 today. Just Charles' favorite bet. No, that's the wrong one. There we go. Philly 5. So I went with $81. I went 3-2, 3-3-3. It was the same formula that I used last time we did the Philly 5. I made it all the way to the last race, and then your 8 horse beat me, Terry. I was heartbroken, so I wasn't going to let the 8 beat me this time. I put it first. What about you?
I spread out in that first leg, and then I spread out in the next leg. So I have 4. Then I have 2 and 2. I like the 2 in that 10th race. Anyway, the 11th race, I have 3 horses, 8, 5, and 3. So it looks, I feel pretty good about mine.
Well, we have no chance because, well, we do only if the 3-horse wins the 8 race. Because I went 3-2, 3-3-3. I feel like the 3 and the 6 in that race number 8 are the 2 best horses in the sequence where I can only pick 2. So that's why I went there. So if the 6-horse wins, I'm doomed. If Terry's 2, 4, or 8 wins, then he's got all the odd even numbers except the 6.
That's right.
Then we're going to bring it home with our prime rib pick 4s. We both decided to go some sequence of 4, 4, 4, and 3, both using 96 of our $100 budgets. Hopefully, we can bring home the Philly pick 5 and the Philly pick 4. Something I tried to do last Monday, again, just getting beat on that last race.
That's right. So
4-horse in race 1 at Parx, put some money on it, is what you left the 2 out. And we have the 2 in the last leg there. What are you talking about? You said you like that one. Add the 2 for which race? The race number 1? Is that what you guys are talking about? Race 1? All right, let's see. Race 1's about to get cracking. Terry, what do you think?
Yeah, it's going.
Oh, it's going already?
Yeah. So right now,
the 1-horse is on the lead, easy lead for American Roma, followed by the 4-horse. The track, it looks like there's a lot of water on the inside. Has it been raining a lot over there?
Probably.
Because on the inside of the rail, it looks kind of swampish to me.
Yep.
So the 1-horse right now is starting to fade a little bit. You have the 4-horse and the 6-horse are making their movements.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the hell happened to my 3-horse. He's not even showing up in here today.
He just kind of galloping back there.
He's in the back?
Yeah, he's galloping like 6, 8 lengths behind everybody.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he just didn't like the track conditions today.
Could be.
Looks like the 1 might hang on here, man. Looks like the 4-horse is going to probably get the W here.
All right.
The 4 just went by the 1.
Yep.
Yep. It's going to look like looks like now the 6 on the outside is going to run by them all.
All right. So the 6 is going to win this.
Maybe. It's going to go 6, 4, and 1.
All right.
To start the day. I don't know what the hell happened to my 3-horse there, right?
He just was sort of just galloping. Boy, that 4 held up pretty good.
Yeah, Nick says it's starting to rain right there.
Dug in.
You put 40 to place on the 4-horse. Good job right there.
Mm-hmm.
Jared. All right. So that gets us cracking to start this day here, Terry.
Yep.
If you're going to bet today over at Thistledown, and I don't know what the weather is going to be like over there, head on over to Horse Race to Guaranteed Tip Sheet. You'll see on the tip sheets today that the free track of the day is Thistledown, race number 1. It looks like the track conditions are good. Gio Sammy was the top pick in the first race. Don't know how he played out. There is a link for Guaranteed Tip Sheet in the description on YouTube. There will also be one in the description on Facebook. You can find plenty of them over at horseracingtoday.net, along with Terry's best bets of the day. And while you're at Horse Racing Today, please hit an HRT gear and then get yourself some hats or shirts. The spring is here. The summer is here. Help support the show. It's one of the few ways. And today is the last day you can get some free shipping on some of that merchandise, and we'd appreciate it, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah, 6 went off at 4 to 5. So he was definitely the chalk. I don't know what the hell happened to my 3-horse. I liked him, but I guess he just didn't want to run today. Yeah. Hopefully that's the last time one of my top picks doesn't want to run, Terry.
Yeah, I hope not. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's 6-1, but he just barely won. I mean, that 4 really dug in and held him off. So
any final thoughts for today?
Yeah, just I know that I think they're gonna do the draw today for Preakness. At least I was seeing that. So hopefully everybody gets the draw they want. Hope everybody does well. I had a lot of fun yesterday at Golden Gate Fields. Matter of fact, I had that pick 4 and pick 5 in going to the last leg. But I thought that the 5-horse in that last leg was a standout, so I singled it, and the horse at 1 paid $117 or something like that. So it kind of knocked me out. But I did pretty well. I had a couple of good pick 3s, and then I had a pick 4 at Santa Anita. So had a lot of fun. Took my daughter, met her new beau, and it was just fun. So tomorrow, hope everybody has a wonderful week, and give your loved ones a kiss and a hug.
Jared, we'll get together on which races you want to do, my man. We'll make the show about you, my friend, like we did last time around. Whatever you're most comfortable doing, that's where we'll handicap. Terry will be here tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to do Presque Isle Downs. We figured we'll take our talents somewhere new, see how that works out. Then Jared and I will hack out what we're going to do Wednesday and Thursday. And then Jared will be here again next Monday as well. Charles, thank you for joining. Want to thank everybody who commented today. A couple new people commenting. We appreciate that. And the more feedback we get and the more the more picks that you can put out there, the more of the community feeling the show has, and that's what we're going for. Good luck to you as well, Charles. Good luck to everybody today as well. And all you crazy people out there, put your guns down, man. If you got a problem with yourself, go seek help. Don't go seek other people. Leave the rest of us the hell alone.
That's right. Let me tell you, Thistledown, the top pick on that free picks won.
Did it? Beautiful.
Geo Sammy.
And how much did he pay? Like $4?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't even see that.
All right. Anyway, so I'm glad he won. So maybe we have more winners over there at Thistledown today. Guarantee tip sheet again. You'll find the links here in the description at YouTube, as well as on our Horse Racing Today site and in Facebook. Of course, we'll have our Preakness wagering guide later on this week. We'll let you know when all that's available. Till we get together again tonight with Sean for Horse Center and Terry and I again tomorrow. We hope that you have a fantastic Monday and that your day and your picks and everything that you do ends up in the
winner's circle.
Absolutely. Have a great Monday.